Hello everyone, I'm Josh Garrett, and in this video, we're going to be approaching the topic of the hedgehog and the fox, and we'll be finding out which one you are. This all started recently when my father brought to my attention an essay by Isaiah Berlin. The essay was based off a quote by Archilochus. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. The thing is, this is the only piece that survives of the poem, just one fragment, and no one knows what Archilochus meant by it. Some think it was about cleverness versus stubborn strength, while others think that this quote was more metaphorical. Isaiah Berlin, however, took this line and turned it into a whole new way of thinking. Specifically speaking, a whole new way of thinking about thinkers. Those who unify everything into one big idea, the hedgehogs, and those who see complexity and variety, the foxes. There is also, in fact, such a tale in Aesop's fables, the fox versus the hedgehog. The fox tries to trick the hedgehog, and the hedgehog defends itself by rolling itself into a spiky ball. Both are, in a way, evenly matched. The fox's tricks come from a cunning mind, and the hedgehog's simple yet effective tactic comes from a simple mind. Although Isaiah Berlin was not inspired by this fable when writing his essay, it still illustrates to us all what a hedgehog and a fox really are. So what are their individual characteristics? A hedgehog is basically a thinker that sees the world through one big idea. This one core belief shapes how they think, act, and interpret everything. Now, just to clarify, the fox isn't smarter just because it's a fox, and the hedgehog isn't any stupider. Hedgehogs simply organize everything under one central vision. It's like seeing the world under simply one lens. Here are some examples of hedgehogs. Take Albert Einstein. His goal or purpose was to simply find a theory behind everything. So if you presented to him a theory that was in no way related to how the world works, he would still wonder and ask, can I use this to find a theory of everything? If the hedgehog sees the world through one lens, then the fox constantly keeps on changing his or her lenses. Instead of bringing every idea, everything perceived into one system, they are more flexible. They might seem scattered or inconsistent, but they are especially great at solving complex problems. Take Leonardo da Vinci, for example. He's famous for his paintings. However, he did not stop there. He was part scientist, part artist, and always curious. He didn't have one simple view. He wasn't simply obsessed with art only or science only. Rather, he took a broad approach, learning as many things as he could. Now that we know their individualities, let's look at their extremes. By their extremes, I simply mean the height of their potential, but also the depth of their disadvantages. A hedgehog genius will have a clarity, structure, and every step they take will have a clear purpose. On the downside, however, they risk dogma or oversimplification. A fox genius, on the other hand, is more open, creative, and nuanced, though they might also risk aimlessness or contradiction. So which one are you? To make things clear, like most metaphors, you cannot group people into one category easily. Most of us are, in fact, a mix of both fox and hedgehog. Is that even possible, is what you are probably thinking. And you're right. Isaiah Berlin gives an example of Leo Tolstoy. He was an exceptional fox, a writer having the unmatched ability to perfectly capture the chaotic swirl that is life. Yet deep down, Tolstoy wanted to be a hedgehog. He wanted clarity, a sole purpose and meaning in life. That desire tormented him. It hurt so much because his fox mind kept on finding contradictions and complexity when all he wanted was one simple truth. This wasn't criticism. Berlin was simply giving one of the greatest examples of human conflict. So, the conclusion? Sometimes you are both. You might be foxes by instinct, always chasing new ideas, but with a hedgehog heart, always circling back to one certain passion or theme. So the real goal isn't to label yourself as a fox or a hedgehog. Rather, it is about understanding yourself better. So with that cleared up, back to the question. Which one are we? Pay attention to how you think, not what you think. Being a fox doesn't mean knowing many things, but rather how you think. Do you instinctively look for patterns or one big truth? Then you're leaning towards hedgehog. Or do you often see exceptions, possibilities, or conflicting truths? Then you're leaning fox. For example, when you hear an argument, do you simply look for who's right? That would be a hedgehog. Or do you try to understand both perspectives and how they fit together? Then that would be a fox. Also, pay attention to what you create. Do you have a big message you want everything you do to point towards? Then you're leaning towards hedgehog. Or is your creation a bit messy or orderless? A creation that builds itself as it grows? Then you're leaning towards a fox. Most importantly, accept that you can be both. As I mentioned, you might be both a hedgehog and a fox, simply in different seasons of life. Knowing who you are and accepting it is the most crucial step of them all. Whether you're a hedgehog, a fox, or something in between, the point isn't to lock yourself into a category. The point is to become more aware of how you think, how you see the world, and what drives you. Some people find peace in one idea, others thrive in complexity, and some, like Tolstoy, wrestle between the two and create greatness from that struggle. So don't rush to label yourself. Instead, observe your patterns, explore your tensions, and use this metaphor as a mirror, not a box. You might be a fox seeking clarity or a hedgehog drawn towards curiosity. Either way, your way of seeing is valid and worth understanding. In the end, the question isn't just which one are you, it's what do you do with the way you see. I hope that this video was useful to you. And if you'd like more videos, please subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, and bye.